Yes, good morning, all of you. So last session we started. So last session we started about conditional statements, right? I would say. So yesterday we discussed about conditional statements. There are five set of conditional statements which we discussed: simple if and if else, and we discussed about if else if, and we discussed about nested if, and we discussed about the switch case. Okay, we discussed about switch case. Okay, fine. So after the conditional statements, next we have the concept that is looping statements. That is looping statements. So looping statements which are used to execute the statements repeatedly. Looping statements which are used to execute the statements repeatedly until the until it reaches the specified condition. Repeatedly until it reaches the specified condition. Specified condition. Okay. In Java, we have five set of looping statements. Those are like, first one is while loop, and second one for loop, and third one is do while loop, and fourth one is nested for loop, and fifth one is for each loop. These are the total five. Okay, so first I am going with the while loop. Okay, so while loop, which is used to execute the statements, until it reaches the specified condition. Execute the statements until it reaches the specified condition specified condition. So the syntax for the while loop is while keyword, and this is the scope of while block. Inside I can write the condition. Okay, so here actually I would like to write some of the logic here. Okay, now I can write a program on it. We can get the clarity on it. Where I would go to my June batch, Java batch, and now where I would take the file called while.java. While.java. Okay, now public class, the class name is while, and this is the scope of the while block, and there is a main method. The main method is public static void main, and then string aux, and this is the scope of the main method. Now I am taking the while is the keyword, and this is the scope of the while block until it reaches the condition. Keep on executing. For example, here I am taking int x equal to 5. Int x equal to 5. Okay, so here I am writing the condition x is less than or equal to 10. X is less than or equal to 10. Here I am taking the value as 1. So in this case, I would like to take system.out.println, and here I would say hello. Normally the thing is, uh, now this program I can compile and then I can run this. I can run this program. Wherever file is available, go to that file location and open Java C and while.java. Okay, so the file has successfully compiled and Java file. You guys, can you please see here what is happening? It is keep on executing the same set of statements. Yes or not? If I open my laptop after 1 month, so it will be keep on executing. If I open my laptop after 1 year, it will keep on executing. So it will keep on executing until it reaches the specified condition. Until it reaches the specified condition. Only if my laptop have the charging. So until it's keep on executing. It's keep on executing. It's keep on executing. Okay. So what is happening actually? So the first control come to the main method and it will go to the inside and x is the variable. I assign the value 1. I assign the value to the x variable and 1 less than or equal to 10. Yes, condition is true. Then it is going inside and it is keep on executing. It is keep on executing until this condition is satisfied. This condition will not satisfy never. So that is the reason it will keep on printing. Keep on. If I open my laptop after 1 year, 2 years, any years, also it will keep on printing. Only the thing is, if the my laptop have the charging, it will be keep on printing. Okay, fine. Now, what I am doing? I want to stop this one, and now I can mention increment operator x plus plus. So what it will do? X variable, x variable, reinitialize, 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 and increment by 1. Okay, increment by 1. So basically, what happens in this scenario? X is holding the value how much? 1. 1 less than or equal to 10. Yes. Then control will come inside. It will print at one time. It will print at one time. So I mentioned as increment. Increment meaning x is already holding the value 1. Increment meaning x variable will be increment by 1. Meaning this become 2. Are you guys clear with my statement? It will print at one time. Now it will x value become 2 because of x plus plus operator. Okay. 2 and 2 less than or equal to 10. This is to know. Yes. Control will come again and it will print second time. And again plus plus operator, which meaning x variable increment by 1, meaning this become 3. And 3 less than or equal to 10. Yes. Yes. Okay. It will print third time as well. It will print third time. So until it reaches the specified condition, it will keep on printing the statements is called while block. Okay. So the same program where I would go here Yeah, already will be there. So here instead of 10, I can take 5. 10 means it will be print 10 times. 5 means, so I will go to here and then I can compile java c while dot java and while. So see here how many times it printed. There are total 5 times it printed. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
So that is the thing. Next.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, how you stopped that previous running, sir? It was running hello, hello, hello. No? How you stopped it?
Huh?
How you stopped the previous execution, sir? That hello, hello was running, no? How you stopped it?
This one.
Yes, sir.
Control Shift C.
Control Shift C. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Next we have for loop. So next we can discuss do while, and after that we can discuss for loop. Okay, this is the pattern. While, do while, and for loop. Okay, so I hope you guys are clear with while. Now I would like to go with the do while. Do while. So do while is also used to execute the statements, which is used to execute the statements, execute the statements until it reaches the specified condition. It reaches the specified condition. Here, before checking the condition, before checking the condition, it will execute at least one time. It will execute at least one time. At least one time. With irrespective of true or false. With irrespective of true or false. Are you guys clear with my statement? If the condition is either false or true, it will execute the statement at least one time if the condition is false. Now the syntax for do while loop is syntax. Do while is do, and this is the scope of the do block. And now here I am taking statements. Now I am taking some statements, and after that I can write the while block. So here basically I can write the condition. Now the same program again I can create one file. I would mention do while java and public class, and I'm mentioning the class name as do while, and this is the scope of the class. Now main method, and this is the scope of the main method. Now do while write do, and I'm taking while. Okay, so here I would like to take the condition. So with irrespective of the condition is true or false, for example, here I am taking system.out.println, and here I am taking some hi message. Okay, some hi message. If I would say here I am writing some condition. Without condition, we'll say which is the executive comma. You can open command prompt wherever the file is available, Java, and there is a do while dot Java. Okay, yeah, coming to here, and here I am taking the variable int x equal to 1. Okay, and here I am taking x less than 5, x less than 5. So in this case, what happens? First controller come to do block. It will execute at one time. It will execute at one time before checking the condition with irrespective of the condition is true or false. For example, anything it will be execute at least one time before checking the condition. So that is the thing. Uh, in some interview, they will ask like, what is the difference between while and do while? So in case of do while, before checking the condition, it will at least execute one time. But in case of while block, so if the only the condition is true, then only the controller will go inside, then only it can iterate the loop. Then only it can iterate the loop. But in case of do while, so with irrespective of true or false, it will execute at least one time. That is the difference actually. Now, now I want to print this statement. I can save this one, and wherever command prompt will be there, I am Java C do while, and then there is a Java, and next we have the command do while. So see here, here also what it is doing, it is keep on printing hi message. It is keep on printing hi message. Okay, so I don't want to print the hi messages, then you should mention increment operator, and then now what happens, controller come to here, it will execute at one time, and x value will be increment by 1, and meaning this value become 2. 2 less than 5, yes. 2 less than 5, yes. Again controller will go do block, it will execute a second time. So like this until it reaches the specified condition, we keep on printing the statements. Now in this case, again go to here, Java C do while dot Java and Java. So see here, it is keep on printing until it reaches the specified condition. I hope you guys are clear. Okay. Next we have the for loop, guys. For loop. For loop, all the in looping statements, all the while, do while, for loop, all which are used to execute the statements repeatedly only. This is also which is used to execute the statements repeatedly, repeatedly until it reaches the specified condition. For is the range based loop, range based loop, and while is the condition based loop. This is the condition based loop. This is condition based loop. Okay, while is the condition based loop, and for is the range based loop. For is the range based loop, and syntax for the for loop is, for example, range based loop meaning you know how many times you want to print the values. For example, if I tell you like go and come from BML level to Makali 10 times, 10 times I am giving the exact number how many times you want to go and come. Okay, that is called range. If I tell you the exact number, that is called range. If I give only the condition, I don't tell any range at all, then that is while is the condition based loop, for is the range based loop. For keyword means this is the scope of the for block, and where I would say here I can take. So generally, if you closely observe here, in case of while block, so here we taken variable initialization in one line, variable initialization in one line, condition in one line, And next we have increment or decrement in one line. Okay, and coming to here also what we did actually, variable initialization in one line, variable initialization in one line, and next we have this is increment or decrement in one line, and this is condition in one line. Okay, so in case of while and do while, we taken all three in different lines, but in case of for loop, or we can write in single line, which means variable initialization, and next we have variable initialization, and next we have condition, and increment or decrement, or you can write in inside this one. You can write the system string. That's it. Okay. I would go there and then I create the file, and then we'll see the result. I am taking the new file, text document. Why I would say for.java, and I will open the file, and public class for, and this is the scope of the class name, and public static void name string aux. This is the scope of the a equal to 1 and a less than or equal to 5 and a plus plus operator. I want to print the numbers from 1 to 5. Then I would take system.out.println, and I can mention the value of a is, this is what concatenation, string plus variable is called concatenation. Okay, I'm saving this one. So simply I can go to what if there is a command prompt, right? Go with any command prompt and look for the Java C for Java. See here, the values is printing. So what is the difference between for and while loop? For is the range based loop. I know how many times I want to iterate. Then I will go with the for loop. So here what is happening internally? So A is initialized with 1. It will check the condition. So condition 1 less than 5. Yes. 1 less than 5. The condition is true. It is coming, and then it is printing at one time. It is printing at one time. Okay, very good. And after this statement, it will go incremental, meaning 1 become 2. 2 less than 5. Yes. And print statement will be printed second time. Okay, again go to increment, and it will become 3. 3 less than 5. Yes. And it will print the third time. Next it will go here, and it will become 4. 4 less than 5. Yes. And it will print at the fourth time, and again it will become 5. and 5 less than or equal to 5, yes, and it will print fifth time as well. Okay, it will print fifth time as well. Again it will be increment by 1, meaning 6. 6 greater than 5, no, the condition is false, right? Until it reaches the specified condition, it will keep on executing the statement. That is called for loop. For is the range based loop, while is the condition based loop. Okay, if you know how to handle for loop, then you can easily handle nested for loop as well. This is the numbers I printed from forward direction, right? You can print reverse direction as well. A reverse direction as well. For example, if you want to print the numbers from 10 to 1, reverse direction, then here you can use increment, decrement, and highest number you can take 0, a value I would say 10, and here you can take the condition which is greater than or equal to 0. So it will come to here, and it will check the condition. Condition, this is greater than 0, right? Yeah, you can mention as the okay. Say the program. So here what happens? First 10, print 1, become 9, print 1, second time, and 8, print. So until it reaches the condition, it will iterate the loop, Okay. So now if I come that one, and then if I print those values, Java C, Java, and then Java. Okay, see here, the values is printing. I would say reverse direction. Reverse direction. Okay, fine. Okay, very good. Next, if you know for loop, then you can easily handle the nested for loop as well, right? I will show you nested for loop. Next concept is nested for loop. Nested for loop meaning, nested meaning, that is the process of writing one for loop inside the another for loop. One for loop, one for loop inside the another for loop is called nested for loop. Okay, is called nested for loop. Okay, syntax for the nested for loop is normally how we can write this one. This is the nested for loop, right? Which means like we can write the initialization and condition and increment or decrement, right? Increment or decrement. This is simple for loop. So I'm writing inside, that is called nested for. That's it. That is called nested for loop. So what is the why we are going with the nested for loop meaning? There are some patterns in Java which is used to print the mostly which is used to print the patterns, which is used to print the patterns in Java. So the patterns are, I would say, show you. So see, these all the patterns. These kind of patterns you can able to print. These kind of patterns you can able to print by using nested for loop. Nested for loop. Okay, come to here. Here I would like to take the program I am coming to here itself. So same thing I can use. So here what I am doing. mm, I will take a new file. Take a new Java file, text document, and where I would mention the name is any name you can do. In my case, I am giving like as a pattern dot Java. Now public static void main string aux, and this is the scope of the class main method, and inside I am taking nested for loop. It is the process of writing one for loop inside another. This is called nested for loop. No. Okay. Here what I am doing, int x equal to 1 and x less than or equal to 5. X less than or equal to 5, or we can mention less than 5. Next x value become 5. So here in case of nested for loop, we have to remember one more point. That is, for every execution of outer for loop, outer for loop, 5 times inner for loop will be executed 5 times. This is very important. 5 times inner for loop will be executed. Very important. Okay. Yeah. Coming to here, and int y equal to 1, and here I would mention x less than y, and here I would mention x plus plus operator, x plus plus operator. Okay. And here you have to remember there are two methods. One is the print method and second one is the println method. Print method and println method. So print method, which is used to basically the cursor will be at the same line, and in case of println method, the cursor will move to the next line. Cursor will move to the next line, and in case of this one, cursor will be in same line. Okay. So coming to here, and here I would like to take the SOP system dot out dot println print, and I am not taking anything, and here I would like to take system dot out dot println, and here I can mention some symbols, whatever the symbols you want you can mention. Save this one and go on, then run the file. Controller will come inside, and it will go and then it will print at one time. This statement it will print this one time, and the next control will go to this save this one. Now we'll see the result how it is coming out. And there is a command prompt. Open the command prompt and look for the Java C patterns dot Java. There is a method no arguments. Coming to here, system.out.println. Okay, yeah, what you can do? So compulsory it need one argument print method, and now here print ln. Okay, I'm saving this one. Now can go and then compile this one. Yeah. Java C pattern.java file has successfully compiled. Java and patterns. Here, this is print can mention less than, and you can mention here star Java C patterns.java. Now, here we can pass.
So no, the condition is should be y less than x, right, sir? Second for loop. Second for loop, sir. Y less than x.
Oh yeah, y less than x is. This is y, right? This is x. X initialized with 1 and condition is 5 and increment operator, and then here second we are doing with the y, right? And y and condition y less than x. Okay, fine. Now y ఇక్కడ x వాల్యూ 1 కండిషన్ ట్రై ఇది కిందకు వస్తుంది కిందకు ఆ, ఇది ఇంక్రిమెంట్ అయ్యిదిగా యా యా అవును సార్.
సార్ అది ఎక్స్ లెస్ దెన్ వై సార్, అలా అయితేనే ట్రూ అవుతుంది, లేదంటే మళ్ళీ ఫాల్స్ అయిపోతుంది సార్ స్టేట్మెంట్.
ఫస్ట్ కండిషన్ ట్రై అవుతుంది లోపలికి వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ ఎవ్రీ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ వన్ టైం
Y less than or equal to x. Y should be equal, less than or equal to x. So y less than or equal to x. Second for loop. Y less than or equal to x. It will print, sir.
value 1 and then ఇది ఒకసారి ప్రింట్ అయితే ఇది ఒకసారి సాటిస్ఫై అయితే ఇది 5 టైమ్స్ ప్రింట్ అవ్వాలి, అది కాన్సెప్ట్. ఇక్కడ ఇది ఒకసారి ట్రూ అయింది అండ్ కంట్రోల్ కిందకి వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ ఈ కండిషన్లో సో మనం y ఈక్వల్ టు 1 అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేస్తుంది.
So it is less than or equal to x.
ఈక్వల్ టు పెట్టాలి, ఈక్వల్ టు పెట్టాలి సార్.
Y should be
So
less
it
than or
works
equal to
out
x.
అండ్ అగైన్ పైకి వెళ్తుంది కండిషన్
No, sir. Y should
Which
be less than
statement?
or equal to x.
Okay, print అవుతుంది. Next time కి వెళ్ళాలి అన్నప్పుడు then can see check this one. System dot out dot print ln. Okay, yeah, save this one. Now you can see Java C pattern dot Java and again Java patterns. See here some pattern is printing. Okay, మనకి ప్యాటర్న్ ప్రింట్ అవ్వాలి అంటే సేమ్ ఇదే తీసుకోవాలి కండిషన్. ఓకేనా, మీకు ఎక్కువ ప్యాటర్న్స్ కావాలంటే దెన్ యూ కెన్ టేక్ విత్ మోర్ నంబర్ లైక్ 10 and then okay you can save the program and coming to here and then we can run the program java c pattern dot java and then java pattern. Okay, so see patterns. So what we are doing actually, we are trying to print the patterns. If you want to print the patterns, then this is the scenario. Then this is the scenario. X equal to 1 and x less than 10 and x plus plus our increment and y equal to 1 and y less than x. Okay, y less than x and y plus plus. Y plus plus. Okay, అర్థమైందా ఇది?
సార్ కెన్ యూ సే అగైన్ మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు ఒకసారి?
ఇక్కడ ఎవ్రీ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఇది ఒకసారి సాటిస్ఫై అయితే విచ్ మీన్స్ సో దట్ ఈస్ ద స్టేట్మెంట్ ఐ said here, very very important and every execution of which means so outer loop will be executed at one time and inner for loop will be executed 5 times. When I take the 5 and if I take the 10, so in this case what happens, every execution of outer for loop 10 times inner for loop will be executed. 10 times inner for loop will be executed. 10 times inner for loop will be executed. Okay, ఓకే, అర్థమైనా? ఇక్కడ ప్రింట్కి ప్రింటల్ మెథడ్కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటంటే ప్రింటల్ మెథడ్ అనేది కర్సర్ ఎక్స్టెండ్ మూవ్ అవడానికి, ప్రింట్ మెథడ్ అనేది మనము ఇది డిస్ప్లే చేయడానికి మనం 2 మెథడ్స్ వాడతాం. అదే కర్సర్ విల్ బి ఇన్ ద సేమ్ లైన్, విల్ యూజ్ ప్రింట్ మెథడ్ అండ్ ప్రింటల్ మెథడ్, కర్సర్ విల్ మూవ్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ లైన్. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ ఐ వుడ్ సే ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు instead of symbols, if you want to print some messages like you can take hello and now instead of symbols the hello message will be printed. I want to print the numbers. If I want to print the numbers, then you can take the value of inner for loop what we have y, right? You can take as the y. Save this one and coming to here and java c patterns dot java and java patterns. So see here all the numbers will be printed. All the numbers will be printed. All the numbers will be printed. In reverse direction also same. If you want to print the reverse direction, you can take the higher number here. You can take the decrement and here you can take the greater than. So like that also you can try with. Then you can print the numbers in reverse direction. The numbers in reverse direction. Okay. So these kind of patterns you can try with these kind of patterns. We can do all by using like there is a simply you can change the uh, outer for loop and inner for loop. Then you can print the I would say patterns. we can print the patterns. So this is all about nested for loop, which is used to print the patterns. Which is used to print the patterns. Okay. Which is used to print the patterns. Which is used to print the patterns. So with this, so I give the summary what all the areas we discussed today. First one is the while loop, and second one is the do while loop, and third one is the for loop, and fourth one is the nested for loop. So next we have for each loop. So this we can discuss at the time of arrays. So next concept we have the arrays, and we can discuss at the time of arrays. This is for each loop. For each loop also, which is used to iterate the values one by one. Iterate the values one by one. While, do while, for loop, nested for loop. So your assignment is you have to do these assignments and then you have to submit. And tomorrow we have the KT sessions, guys. KT sessions means whatever the topics which we discussed from starting to till now, everybody have to give the KT. Go to that use that dias and you have to give the KT for everyone. Okay, this is the KT sessions. Every Friday will be the same. If you have the doubts, you can ask, and after that, you have to every person go to the stage and have to give the KT for everyone. Okay, so that's it. Next, online people also. First, I will take the online people, and then I can start with the offline people. Okay, so online people. First, I will take with the online people, and then I will take with the offline. So next, we can start with the arrays.
Sir,
So
excuse me, sir. So should we prepare presentation and present or how, sir? PPT or how?
your voice is not clear. Can you please little bit louder?
Sir, how should we present tomorrow, sir? Like PPT should we prepare?
How you should give the KT, right? That
Yes.
is your question.
Yes, sir.
I will ask to turn on the camera and then I will ask the questions. Like, for example, the topics which are completed, like control statements, conditional statements, right? I will ask, can you please give a brief about conditional statements? You have to tell from end to end about the conditional statement. This is the KT you have to give. This is one topic which I given. But
Okay.
I can ask all the topics, any topic. I can pick any topic, then I can ask. Okay, you have to give the KT like that. I can ask you, can you turn on camera, and then you have to give the KT like that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Online people all are the same pattern. Next, arrays. Arrays are the containers which are used to store the values. There is variables also, right? Then what is the difference between arrays? What is array variable? You might have one question like what is variable? Variable are the container which is used to store the values only, right? For example, there is a scenario. One person, that person name is Raju. He written some exam. You can assume like he written some 10th class exams. And I told you, you are the Java programmer. I told you, hey guys, Raju has written the exam. He got score in between 6 subjects like 18 and all. Can you write a Java program on it? So normally how you can write, for example, you can assume there is a two scenarios without arrays, with arrays. Now if without arrays, how you can store the values? We will go with the variables approach. Int like subject 1, I would like to take the values 80, and int subject 2 90, and int subject 3 some 70, and int subject 4 equal to some 50, and next I would say int subject 5 equal to some 40, like int subject 6 equal to yeah, this is the one student mouse. If you go with the variables approach, this is the one student mouse. There are 300 students. There are, let us assume there are 300 students. So in that case, I need to create how many variables? 300 into 6. I need to create there are total 1800 variables. Variables. So let us assume there are 100 students. I would say 1000 students. 1000 into 6. I need to create 6000 variables. 6000 variables. If you see here, if I creating these many variables, which meaning I am wasting the memory. These many times I am assigning the values, meaning I am assigning the memory. I am assigning the memory, which means this is a recommended approach, and this is the primitive data types that can hold the single value. For example, can I able to write like this? Can I able to write like this? Int sub equal to 80, 90. Can I able to write like this? No, because when you mention int as data type, it can hold only one value. If you write like this is not a valid. Okay. If I go with this approach, every time you need to create the variables, creating the variables meaning allocating the array, we are wasting the memory. We are wasting the memory. So that is the reason we have the non-primitive data types. Non-primitive data types, we have the arrays. Arrays. So this problem we can resolve with arrays concept. Arrays concept. So, for example, I want to store all the values in one variable, then that you can do by using arrays. You can mention like this, and this is the variable name. Now you can able to store all the values 80, 90, 100, how many values, how much, like if you want to store in number of values also you can store in arrays. In arrays, there are some drawbacks if you go with only the single variable type approach, meaning it can hold only one value, and if you want to store the multiple student data, so we need to create the multiple variables. Creating multiple variables meaning we are wasting the time, we are wasting the memory, and it will increase the lines of code as well. So that is the thing, that is the thing, this is not a good way to program in creating many variables. Okay. So that is the reason we have the concept that is the arrays, guys. We have the concept that is arrays. Arrays are the container which are used to store the values. Next point is arrays is the static static container, and we can give the size, we can give the size of the array at the time of array declaration, at the time of array declaration, at the time of array declaration. Okay, the beauty of array is we can store the values, we can retrieve the values based on the index positions. The beauty of array is we can store the values and we can retrieve the values. We can retrieve the values. We can retrieve the values based on the index positions. Based on the index positions, we can store the values. We can retrieve the values based on the index positions. Okay, based on the index positions. Okay, next up. So values will be stored. So first value will be stored at a zeroth index position. First value will be stored at a zeroth index position. Zeroth index position. From next value onwards will be stored. First value will be stored at the zeroth index position, and from second values will be stored will be stored. First value will be stored at the zeroth index position. From second values onwards will be stored. Second value will be stored first index position and so on. Second value will be stored first index position, first index position, and so on, and so on. Okay, like this. Are you guys clear with my statements? First value will be stored at the zeroth position, and second value will be stored at the first index position. So like that, and so on. Position. Okay. Next point is last index position of the array is last index position of the array is last index position of the array is n minus 1, n minus 1, where n means n means n means size of the array. N means size of the array, guys. N means size of the array. Array. N means size of the array. Okay. Next up. So in JVM, how JVM will treat the array? JVM will treat array as the object. So that is the reason that JVM will treat array as object, array as object, array as object. JVM will allocate the memory for the arrays in heap area, in heap area, in heap area. Are you guys clear with my statements? Okay. Array contain, there are two parts, guys. Array contains two parts. What are the two parts? Array declaration and array initialization. First one is array declaration and array initialization. Second one is array initialization. So first I am going with the array declaration. So here we are going to declare we are going to declare we are going to declare array name, array variable name, and array data type, and array size. The syntax for the array declaration is we can declare I would say variable name, data type, variable name, and uh, this is data type. And when you mention the square braces, this is the symbol of array. This is the symbol of array, and then here you can mention the variable name, variable name, variable name. Okay, so size you can mention at the time of declaration. Okay, so here int, this is the size. For example, if I mention the size, it can able to store the only the positions up to 4. The positions up to 4. Up to 4. Next we have the concept that is variable initialization. Array initialization. Array initialization. Here we are going to assign the values to the variable. Here we are going to assign the values to the array. The values to the array. Variable declaration and data type, variable name, and int. So here directly you can assign the values. Like I would say int variable name equal to, you can assign the values. But this will comes here, this one. So normally you can see few of the programs. So basically these are the few points you have to remember with respect to arrays. Arrays are the containers which are used to store the values. Arrays is the static container. We can give the size of array at the time of array declaration. We can store the values and we can retrieve the values based on the index positions. First value will be stored in the 0th index position. Second value will be stored in the first index position, and so on. And last index position of the array is n minus 1, n is size of the array. JVM will treat array as object. Array as object, and so that is the reason JVM will allocate the memory for the arrays in the heap area. Arrays in the heap area. So this I can write a program and then I can show you where I can go here, and then there I would take the file name. Public class arrays demo, and public static void main, and I can take a string aux, and this is the scope of the uh, I would say main method, and here I would take arrays int variable name you can give anything, and size of array. So when you mention the size of array, data type and variable name, and I mention like this. Now you can able to store the values based on the index positions. Based on the index positions. Okay. AR0 meaning zeroth index position. I would like to store the value some 100. And same way you can able to store remaining other values like at the index position 0, the index position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. This is 1 and this is 2. This is 2, 3 and 4. Up to 4 only because always last index position of the array is n minus 1. N minus 1. So what happens internally? So when I mention declare the size, so internally one array got created. Okay. So index position 0 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4, right? 3 and 4. So the first value will be stored here, which means 100, and the second value will be stored. I will change the values here 90 like this. So here the values is storing completely based on index positions. Index positions. Okay. Now I am coming to here. I am giving the values 90 and 80, 80 and some 70 and next 60. I want to print the values. If I want to print the values, then you can take system dot out dot println, and here whatever, like I store there are number of 4 positions, right? Whatever you want you can print. For example, I want at index position 0. So that's it. The value will be printed at the index position 0. At the index position 2. CMD Java C arrays demo.java and demo the data type int. Coming to here, data type and size is data type, that you can check the syntax. You can check with the syntax. Array declaration. Where is the syntax? We can check with array declaration with size. Data type array name. Oh, we need to use the new keyword, right? This is also object. New keyword. Yeah, we need to mention new keyword. Okay. So now coming to here, and then Java C arrays demo.java, and file has successfully compiled Java and arrays demo. So see here, the value is printing 80. The value is printing 80. Okay. So I want to print all the values. If I want to print all the values, should I take a SOP statement 5 times? No. So there is a concept for each loop. There is a concept for each loop. For each loop, which is used to in the values, all the values at one time. So what is the data type? This one, yeah. So air is the assistant, and that will give all the values one by one to other variable. That other variable name is s. Any name you can give. As of now, I am giving as a one, meaning. So first it will take all the values. All the values I kept in this variable, right? So here when I mention this each symbol, it will give all the values one by one to the s variable. Okay, what is this s variable data type? Printer. Now here what I would take, I would like to take system.out.println, and now I would mention s, and I can save the file, and where actually I can do the compilation, and then I can try to print the values array them. See here all values are coming or not. For each loop which is used to iterate the values, which is used to retrieve the values one by one. Retrieve the values one by one. Retrieve the values one by one. This is one way to assign the values, meaning based on the index positions I am assigning the values. Instead of assigning the values like this, you can assign the values like this as well. Directly you can take the open curly braces and close curly braces. Inside whatever the values you want, you can mention like 80, 70, some 900, some 800, like some 900, like this. Whatever the values you want, directly you can pass the values. If you pass the values like this also, this value will be stored at the index position 0, this value will be stored at the index position 1, this value will be like this. Okay. So if you go with the arrays, if you go with the arrays, the beauty of arrays, it will be store the values, it will be retrieve the values based on the index positions. Now here also, I use the for each loop, and with the help of for each loop, I can able to retrieve the values. So simple. So I can save the file, and then where I would go to here, and then compile the file javac array demo.java, and I can arrest. So see here, I'm able to getting the values or not. Yes. So these, as of now, you have to practice up to now, guys. You have to practice while, do while, for nested for, and for each loop by using arrays as well. Okay. This is the thing you have to do, and we can continue in the next session. So that's it today, guys. I am closing the